Welcome to the Nehvizdech indoor meeting, part of the World Athletics Indoor Tour. And this year we have three terrific competitions for you on the European Athletics YouTube channel, the live stream. We have a men's shot put as the highlight of the evening, a men's high jump, and very shortly at about 5:20 Central European time, 4:20 elsewhere in Europe, in the eastern part, western part. So giving a welcome here is the Mayor of Nehvizdech, Jiří Poborsky. Alongside him, being introduced, the famous Czech shot putter and 1983 world champion, Helena Fibingerova. Well, Fibingerova, still the world indoor record holder with a fantastic mark of 22.50, which she achieved back in 1977. So that's been on the record books no less than 46 years now. That's set in another Czech town of Jablonec. Well, realistically, it would be a big surprise if any of the women in action today come within 2 meters of that mark, but nevertheless, a very, very classy field, not least of which, Jessica Schilder, the Dutch woman who is European champion. Now, this indeed is Jiří Poborsky, the mayor of Nehvizdech. This is the handing over to the Deputy Mayor, Josef Kolar. And the local dignitaries introducing each other. And the microphone gets handed over to Tomáš Vojtek, the meeting director of this event, which has been going since 2018, so this is the 6th consecutive year. And if you're wondering where Nehvizdech is, well, it's about 10 kilometers east of Prague. It's a town in its own right. Market town that was first in the history books back in the 14th century. Well, the crowd here getting up close and personal for this competition. You can see the Nehvizdech Sports Hall, usually used as a basketball arena, but it's a multi-purpose venue. Well, as always, presentation to Helena Fibingerova, 3 times world record setter as well. Still a very familiar face at Czech athletics events. And as far as the World Athletics Indoor Tour is concerned, we have other events in the Czech Republic coming up in the coming days. The high jump meetings in Hustapeče and Třinec to start with. So now the Czech national anthem. Well, the women's shot putters will shortly be introduced. When we do, I'll go through all 8 women one by one. They're just trying to warm up. Their competition getting underway in about 14 minutes, according to my watch. And now a very familiar rendition. We all remember this Queen anthem from the 80s. Well, I think Freddie Mercury, Brian May, John Deacon, and Roger Taylor, the four members of the classic lineup of Queen, would be very happy with that version. And this is what's now been adopted as the meeting anthem. Well, you can see the crowds really starting to get into this event. One of the big sports events in Nehvizdy this winter. We have no less than 14 World Athletics Indoor Tour Silver meetings coming up. During the course of this winter, we've had a few already, and this is the third European Athletics live stream, and they're accompanied by 16 World Athletics Indoor Tour bronze meetings. So, as we move along, now comes the introduction of the women's shot putters. Well, as you probably saw in the background, they've been warming up for a little while. Women's shot put only been contested once before at this meeting, last year for the very first time, and it was won by Sarah Gambetta, the German putter. She returns. So her winning mark of 1890 last year, that stands as the meeting record. And it was a personal best at the time for the German. There we go. That's the start list. Getting things underway will be the Dutch woman, Bente Koenig. We go all the way down, almost in season's best order, down to the Canadian Sarah Mitten. Mitten, 4th at the World Championships in Eugene last summer, 7th at the World Indoor Championships in Belgrade about 11 months ago. Sarah Gambetta, as mentioned, the defending champion, you could say here. And also a very impressive lineup. Sees the European champion, Jessica Schilder, come to Nehvizdech, and also Anita Martin, former world indoor champion as well. Good camaraderie amongst the women shot putters. They know each other very well in the majority of cases. The meeting organiser has nicely organised them. So, first to be presented, Bente Koenig from the Netherlands, 24 years of age, personal best of 18:21. Jessica Inchude, Portuguese number 2 behind your world indoor champion Oriel Dongmo. Maria Belén Tolmil of Spain followed her, 28 years of age. Sarah Gambetta waving her arms high, the German, 29 years of age, has gone over 19 metres in her career, 19:05. Last year set a personal best in this meeting of 18:90. Just saw Fanny Roos as well, 28 years of age, the very well-known Swede, who seems to be able to pull it out when it matters in the big competitions. Anton Martin, two-time European indoor champion as well as her other accolades. Now we get into the expected big guns. Jessica Schilder. And now Sarah Mitten. Well, Mitten has put over 20 metres. National record holder indoors and out. Very recently on form, setting a Canadian indoor record of 19 metres, 80 centimetres. So those seasonal bests. Everybody's actually competed once already this year. So first into the circle, Bente Koenig. Just wondering whether there's a few nervous caretakers in the audience as well. Just hoping that the women reach the landing area. Otherwise, there might be some repairs to the basketball court. So not a great start from Koenig. So it's the Portuguese putter wearing the Sporting Lisbon colours, Jessica Intruder. Quickly into the circle, Maria Bell and Tolmil. Just to bring you quickly up to date with the results. 16.75 for Koenig with that opening put. Tolmil just over 17 metres. Those two markers out there at 17 metres and 18 and 19 metres. $17.49 for Tolmil. In today, $17.76. Sorry, Gambetta. A bit shy of 18 metres for Gambetta. Using the classic O'Brien technique. More of the women tend to use the classic technique as compared to the rotational technique, whereas where the men are concerned, the majority of the world-class putters use the rotational technique. So Fanny Roos. Having said that, Roos, one of the exponents of the rotational technique, putting around 17.5 metres. Gambetta, that was 18.42 for Gambetta, just giving you an update as we go along. Not getting the graphics on the screen with regards to the results, but if you follow the links through to the European Athletics website, that'll give you a link to the local organisers' live results page. That was Jessica Schilder, a bit of underwhelming, I should say, Anita Martin. Martin, world indoor champion back in 2018. Had a baby break for a year or so. Now starting to get back, enjoying her athletics. This is Jessica Schilder. Ooh, spins out. That's a foul. A red flag. Schilder rose to the occasion in Munich last year to take the European title. On that occasion, putting a personal best and national record of 2024. Sarah Mitten. Good technique from the Canadian. You can see there, 18:30:39 on the screen. So Sarah Gambetta leads after the first round with a best of 18.42. Three women over 18 metres at the moment. So Bente Koenig goes back into the circle again. Pivoting well. Just waiting for the measurement. You can see she goes over 17 metres, so there we go. 17.15 for Koenig. It's the turn of Inchida. That was good effort from Inchida. Probably just over 18 metres. In fact, I need to correct myself. I was saying that those lines were at 17, 18 and 19 metres. My error. They're, of course, at 17, 19 and 21 metres. So Inchida improves to 18.33. Just 1 centimetre short of her recent indoor best. And another good effort from the Spaniard, 18.27. So these women are really starting to warm up and get into the groove now. After a generally modest first round, we're getting some really good efforts coming out. Oh, sorry, Gambetta. Well, she won't improve on her first round of 18.39. Fanny Roos. Roos really getting behind that effort. You saw it with your own eyes if you were looking at the infield mark. So Roos goes into the lead with 18.51. Rather underwhelming effort there from Anita Martin. Just under 17 metres for the former world indoor champion. Now, Jessica Schilder, she spun out with her first attempt. We'll be looking for a good one here. Oh no, that's a very modest effort. Under 17 metres as well. So Schilder at this stage struggling a little bit to find her form. Sort of form that took her over 20 metres last year in Munich at the European Athletics Championships in a thrilling contest with Portugal's Oriel Dongmo. So the compact and very strong Sarah Mitten from Canada. Oh, red flag for her. She won't be too worried about that. Drop down at around the 18-metre mark. Couldn't contain her technique there. So 2 rounds completed. And it's Fanny Roos who leads the way with 18.51. So Bente Koenig. Just a little bit lacking the strength of some of the other women in this field. Nevertheless, 17.33, so an improvement for her. So Inchida gets behind it. Quite a good effort for Inchida. That's probably just slightly over 18 metres. Well, her personal best came in the Foxham Grand Prix at the weekend. 18.34, her personal best indoors. Oh, Somil quickly into the circle and quickly out of it again. Red flag for her. Sara Gambetta now. 2022 winner. No, that's just shy of the 18-metre mark, I think. So there'll be no improvements on her first round, 18.42. So Anita Martin into the circle. Oh. I should say Fanny Roos getting ahead of myself, the leader of the competition. Now, probably not as good as her last effort. Probably just over 18 metres. Oh, she's fouled it. Stepped out. Now it's the turn of Anita Martin. 4 times on the podium. I should say 4 times on the podium at the European Championships. Oh. Sorry, 2 indoor golds, 2 outdoor silvers. Much better effort from Martin. Just under 18 metres. Right. That's a good effort from Jessica Schilder. It's well over 18 metres. Really gets behind it. Very quick indeed in the circle. $18.26 for Schilder. Now, to take us to the halfway point, Sarah Mitten, the Canadian. Oh, that's by far and away the best effort of this competition. That's close to 19 metres. That'll certainly take the lead. Oh, much better effort from Mitten. 18.66 for the Canadian. Nicely done by the Canadian. So she takes the lead at the halfway point. Nobody over 19 metres just yet. That's really the benchmark of world-class putting. But really interesting, exciting competition starting to brew up, with Sarah Mitten leading the way after 3 rounds with 18.66. Fanny Roos, 18.51. And Sara Gambetta, 18.42. Jessica Schilder yet to really get into her groove. Schilder down in 6th place with 18.26 at the moment. So Bentha Koenig goes into the circle for the 4th time. I wonder what Helena Fibingarova is thinking. An icon of women's shot putting. That's just over 17 metres for Koenig. Wonder if that's any improvement on her 17.33 best from the first 3 puts. Should have said that was Anita Martin. Martin getting 17.14, a very slight improvement. This is Bentha Koenig, looking for an improvement on 17.33. So, Koenig, 17.06, no improvement. Now, Jessica Schilder, 18.26 to the European champion's name at the moment. Could be an improvement. That was a good effort, but it's wide out to the right-hand side of the sector. Oh. 19.12 for Schilder. It took her 4 rounds to get it together. Wasn't clear because the shot went right out to the right-hand side of the sector. But 19.12 puts her in pole position. Maria Tolmil, just over 17 metres for the Spaniard. So that'll be no improvement for the Spaniard. Her best remains 18.27 from the second round. Now, Jessica Inchude, 1 centimetre short of her personal best at the moment with 18.33. No improvement, but she's got 2 more efforts to come. So this is the woman who's just seen her meeting record go, Sara Gambetta. Over 70 metres. Did she take a deliberate foul? Tap on the top of the break board? Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Just checking with the results. So now, Fanny Roos. Oh, she's very quick across the circle, the Swede. That's a good effort. That's about 19 metres. Now, it won't take the lead, I don't think. but it should move her up into second place. Oh, I thought it was further than that. 1793. I thought it was over 18 metres. Now, Sarah Mitten lying in second place at the moment. Oh, that's an excellent effort from the Canadian. That's over 19 metres without a doubt. That's a really big effort from her. Well, she's got a personal best of 1980. Not quite as far as that. Well, it is a little bit deceptive. I thought that was over a 19 metres. Only given us 1865. That's often the case with indoor shot putting when they're putting into that sort of protective environment. Just over 17 metres again for Anita Martin. So 17-18 for Anita Martin. Now Bente Koenig. 24 years of age. Finished 6th in the European Under-23 Championships back in 2019. Hasn't got a great deal of international experience. Well, just to remind you, if you're wondering about the results, do head to the European Athletics website, european-athletics.org, and you'll get a link there to the meeting live results. It's Koenig, 17:08 with that last effort. No improvement for her. Now, this is Jessica Schilder. Schilder took the lead with 19:12 in the last round. Don't think that was as far this time. No, 18:54. As Maria Tolmil goes into the circle. Foul for the Spaniard. No mark for her. Tolmil struggling to find her best form. Hasn't gone over 18 metres indoors. Best of 17:49. Now, Jessica Inchude. Can she improve on her personal best? No. So, Sarah Gambetta. Oh, quick, fast. Got really behind it. That's a good effort. That's over 18 metres, I'd dare to say. I've been wrong a couple of times during this competition when the shot has descended and it's not been obvious where it landed, at least not to me, of course. So just shy of what she'd achieved. So Sarah Gambetta 18:39 with that last effort. So still a best of 18:42. Now Fanny Roos lying in third place at the moment with 18:51. Looked as though it was quite a high release for the Swede. So, yes, she did step out in the end. Now, Sarah Mitten. Oh, that looks like an excellent effort. Whoa! That will certainly take the lead. Oh, everything came together with that effort from the Canadian. And she just managed to hold it together, stay in the circle. 19:29 for Mitten. She takes the lead, and it's a new meeting record. Anita Martin. Currently lying down in 8th place, the former world indoor champion from 5 years ago. That'll be an improvement on her standings. Best of 17-18. 1789 you'll have seen flashed up very quickly there. So she goes up 1 place to 7th. Bente Koenig. Koenig has a best of 1821. That doesn't look like, no, drops down short of the 17-metre mark. So disappointment for the Dutch woman. This wasn't a great competition for Koenig. Now 24 years of age. But it'd be good international experience against this very classy field that the organisers have assembled. Now, did she stay in? That would be a great effort if she did. I don't know whether she did stay in or not. We moved away a bit too quickly there. No, I'm pretty sure that was given as a red flag. Just to confirm, yes, it was. So, Tolmil, the Spaniard now. Oof. Few centimetres over 17 metres. She doesn't like it. Steps on the top board. Yes. Just wasn't there. Now. Jessica Inchude. $17.88, so no improvement for Jessica Inchude. I should correct myself. My eyesight isn't great. Looking at that board, it's 17.60, but still no improvement for Inchude. Nevertheless, good competition for her. Just 1 centimetre shy of her indoor best. That was a good effort. It's around the 18-metre mark for Sarah Gambetta, the winner last year here. $18.14 for Gambetta, so no improvement for her. She stays in 4th place at the moment with that best from the very first round of 18.42. Annie Roos, 18.51 her best at the moment. No. Well, we're not seeing the putters step on the top board, but I think you can tell by the reaction of the officials. Stays in, but isn't happy with it. Just fouls out, taps out, as you say. Now, Sarah Mitten. She's leading with 19.29. She's got the meeting record. Let's have a look. That was a big, big effort, but did she stay in? No. What a pity, because that was well over 19 metres. So with that last round effort, a foul. Sarah Mitten has a best of 19.29 and takes the victory. Nehvizdy salutes Sarah Mitten. So Jessica Schilder takes second with 19.12. Then rather a long way back in third place. Fanny Roos, 19.51. So those are the three medalists. Just double checking everything is in accordance with World Athletics rules and regulations. That's Schilder's in action. And here's Sarah Mitten. So she stays in. That was her winning effort of 19.29. Sarah Mitten getting an interview with Czech TV. Sarah Mitten, the star of the moment. So to bring you right up to date then, we have a little bit of a hiatus now. The men's high jump will get underway at 18:15 Central European time. And the men's shot put 15 minutes after that at 18:30 Central European time. Big field in the men's high jump, 14 men. That could go on for quite a while. So just waiting now for the three women who finished 1, 2, 3. Sarah Mitten, Jessica Schilder and Fanny Roos to perhaps put a t-shirt on and get themselves over to the victory dais. Confirmation of the results there. And a shout out for Jessica Inchude down in 5th, just 1 centimetre short of her indoor best. Schilder and Roos perhaps a little bit shy of their best, but certainly came here very competitive. Sara Gambetta won with 18.90 last year. Not quite in the same sort of form. Local officials just tidying up, making sure everything's in order for the men's shot put coming up shortly. And the men's shot putters, as you can see, coming out, looking to take their place. Fanny Roos just exchanging high fives with her compatriot, Victor Pettersson. There's Helena Fabingarova. Not quite sure who the blue guy is with her. Fanny Roos just looking for a place to go. As you can see, it's a very small sports hall, this. In times gone past, they've had a few 60 metres competitions as part of this meeting. There's a long jump pit as well. Sarah Mitten. With her travelling entourage, and athletics fans enjoying this evening meeting just 10 kilometres from Prague. You can see the school children, the local school children, been doing drawings of the competitors. What an excellent idea, probably taken up by some other meeting organisers, getting the local schools involved. So it will be Helena Fabingarova, the three-time world record setter, 1983 world champion. So Fabingarova looks on as Sarah Roos climbs the podium in third place with 18.51. So Roos's best effort coming in the third round. Jessica Schilder's 19.12, which briefly took the lead, coming in the next round, in the fourth round, to overtake Fanny Roos. However, Sarah Mitten of Canada clambering up to that very tall number one slot. 19.29 for Sarah Mitten. She gets a little medal in addition to the flowers. And the traditional 1, 2, 3 photo. All these women know each other very well, both on European events and also on the world stage. So while the local organisers get themselves sorted out ahead of the men's high jump, and as we watch Helena Fabingarova chatting away to Jessica Schilder, we'll just take a short break from commentary of about 10 minutes. Please do rejoin me again, Phil Minshall, at 10 minutes past 6 local time in the Czech Republic. Well, you join us again with the introductions of the athletes in the men's high jump. And you've just seen Felak Bait Jabub of Oman, followed by Peter Bakossi of Hungary, Joel Clark Khan alongside him is the one local man from the Pilsen Club, Jan Stefala, Dewey Amels, long-time Dutch number one, now 31 years of age, Amels, at 8 Portillo of Mexico. Here's the very good young South African, still 19 years of age, last year's World Junior silver medalist, World Under-20 silver medalist, I should say. Thomas Carmoy, familiar face here in Nehvizdech, two-time winner last 2 years. Many times Asian champion, Majideden Ghazal of Syria, now 35 years of age. Jonas Wagner, the German. Norbert Kobielski celebrated his 26th birthday just 3 days ago. Edgar Rivera, again a familiar figure at the Central European high jump competitions, based in Switzerland these days. Spent a long time based in Cologne, but now in Switzerland. Last year's World Indoor silver medalist Thiago Moura and the former World Under-20 champion Luis Enrique Zayas, the man with the best PB in the field, the very last man introduced, the Cuban at 2 meters 33. In contrast to the shot putters, many of these men making their indoor debut, their debut for 2023. So the opening height will be 2 meters and 4. Don't expect to see many of the men taking this. This is really for the benefit of Fatek Bait Jabub, Oman record holder outdoors at 2:14, 2:09 man indoors. That's a great innovation. Having loads of school children corralled in the middle of the high jump arena, they'll be able to see what's going on very well. So the clock's ticked round to 18:15 local time in the Czech Republic. And we can get underway with the men's high jump. Second of the 3 events being contested this evening. We did, of course, have an international standard women's high jump earlier today. That was part of the national programme, won by Kristina Ovchinnikova of Kazakhstan with 1.90 meters. So Dabu brings the bar down with his first attempt at 2:04. Bags of height, just takeoff point far too far away from the bar. So the women's high jump won by Ovchinnikova of Kazakhstan with 1.90 meters, not far off her indoor best of 1.93. Second was Yulia Chomachenko of Ukraine. Last year's winner of 1.87. This year, 1.87 sufficed for second place. Yeah. Jan Stefala, 21-year-old Czech jumper, deciding also to come in at 2:04. Nicely and easily over for Stefala. That seems like everybody wants to get in. So this is Brian Ratz. Just preparing himself. Nicely done for Rats. No problem for the South African. And just checking, this will be his first ever indoor competition. So just getting used to the different surface. That can sometimes throw people at the outset. Although by contrast, Hamish Kerr went to the World Indoor Championships last year in Belgrade and came away with equalling his personal best and getting a silver medal, the New Zealand jumper. So Jonas Wagner floats over. So just those three men attempting 204. Let's just say those three men clear. Jaboob of Oman, second attempt at this height. Oh no, brings it down again. He's got the height. Somebody should just tell him to bring in his run up by about 30 centimetres. Of course, sometimes that's much easier said than done. There's the rest of the jumpers. See Madhed Medin Gathal sitting down there. So, third and final attempt for Fatakbait Jaboob. After this, the bar will go up to 2 meters and 9. So just trying to compose himself. Jaboob, third attempt, no. Oh, he does manage it. Makes really hard work. He was stuttering. I think he did bring in his run up though. I think he might have just tickled the bar, but it stays up. And the bar goes up to 2 meters and 9. Oh dear, that run up all over the place for Jaboob, but did enough to get over the bar and spares himself the indignity of his first ever indoor competition ending up with a no height. Oh, not his first ever indoor competition. He did one a few weeks ago. Anyway, he got over eventually. That's Jaboob doing the Czech circuit. Has had a couple of outings in Brno and Kladno. Those were his first ever indoor competitions. Well, youngsters enjoying themselves as they should. Maybe one day they'll become athletes themselves, get involved with local athletics clubs. Who knows where they could go in the future. Ah, much better from Jaboob. Now that is a much better jump after having a few nerves at 2:04. Nicely clear. Bags of daylight. And he's over 2:09. Well, it's a relatively modest height at elite level, but it equals his personal best. Getting a bit of advice from Majid Gazel. So quick in, takes off a long, long way away and just comes down on the bar. So this is Jan Stefala, member of the Pilsen Club, 21 years of age. Tall, rangy Czech jumper, and clears quite nicely. Rats. No problems for Rats clearing his first height at 2:04, nor should there be with a personal best of 2.26 meters. Still opting for leggings. Oh, that was a rather mediocre effort. Came down on the bar. Seems to just hop into the penultimate stride. Loses a bit of impetus. Now, the two-time winner, Thomas Carmoy. Nicely done from the two-time winner. Man who set the meeting record at 2:27 12 months ago. So Majad Esen Ghazal from Syria, multiple Asian champion, Asian indoor champion. Tall, rangy jumper. No problems for Ghazal. It seems quite a few jumpers trying this height. So now Jonas Wagner, 25 years of age, Wagner. already had 3 competitions this winter. So he's packing them in. Oh dear. Well, he won't be happy with that jump. Just managed to go over it, but hit it very, very hard with his backside going over, and the bar wobbled up and down, but he got over it. Now, Edgar Rivera. Mexican record holder. Brother of the very good long jumper, Luis Rivera. Entertaining and erudite character. Fluent in various languages. Quickly runs in. Not perhaps the most technically proficient of jumps, but he's well clear. So, Thiago Moura. Coming in very wide out on the right-hand side. Oh, makes that look very easy. So there's a few men who are passing. So Peter Bakossi gets over 209 at the second time of asking, the Hungarian. Now 29 years of age. There's a best of 222 indoors. Joel Clark-Kahn, rather disappointing effort with his first attempt at 209. 23 years of age now, Clark-Kahn. That's the best outdoors of 227. Better effort from Joel Kahn. He'll be looking to qualify for his second European Athletics Indoor Championships in Istanbul. Didn't get out of qualifying. Oh, quickly whipping over to the room alongside the high jump. So, introductions of the shot putters. 9 men. Chukwu Enewechi, the Nigerian. Armin Sinancevic, the very, very powerful Serbian. Konrad Bukovici. And wrapping things up. 3-time winner here, and very much the man of the moment after his world-leading 21.69 at the weekend, Thomas Stanek. And we're going to be swapping backwards and forwards from these two competitions. So the bar now goes up to 214. There's the full lineup. We're losing the Egyptian, Mohamed Magdi Hamza, who was on the start list. So just 8 men. just a shout out for Thomas Stanek, who's in there. Well, the reigning European indoor champion. He'll be going to Istanbul to defend his title. And he's got a full set of medals from the European Indoor Championships. Silver in 2017, bronze in 2019. World Indoor bronze medalists as well in 2018 when those World Championships were held in Birmingham in Britain. Hasn't got a major European title outdoors. Got the bronze in Munich in the summer, last summer. Came out on top of a very good competition on Saturday in Kladno, setting a world-leading mark of 21.69. So this is Mesut Peza. Peza, Olympic finalist in 2021 and 5th at the 2018 World Indoor Championships. Oh, good start for Peza. Falls down just short of the 20-metre line. Oh, just over, in fact. 20.47. So, excellent start for Peza. It's just 2 centimetres shy of his best for this year. Once again, set in the Kladno meeting when he finished 3rd. So now we switch back to the men's high jump. Oh, just having a quick look at Enowechi. Well, I think we're going to have a bit of this, chopping and changing between the 2 cameras, following the shot put and the men's high jump. But I'll try and keep you up to date with everything that's going on, all the action from Nehvizdech. So Armin Simancevic going into the circle. So that's well over 20 metres as well. Oh, we just missed it there. Enowechi, 2016. 4 centimetres shy of his indoor best. So now Konrad Bukovici. Has a best of 22 metres exactly. That's probably just a bit over 20 metres. Good start to the competition for the 25-year-old Pole. So just waiting for Thomas Stanek to get into the circle. There's the local man that everybody's come to see. Very powerful. 1 metre 90 tall, 127 kilos. Thomas Stanek. Oh, can he hold on to that? Looks as though we didn't see it, but looks as though he lost control. So no mark for Stanek in the first round. 21-16 for Enekwechi, US-based Nigerian. There's Thomas Carmoy, defending champion here in Nehvizdech. Oh dear, that's a bit of a surprise. So 5 men over on their first attempts at 2:14 so far. Amels, Portillo, Stefala, Bakosi and Jabub. This is Majid Ghazal. Floats over. Very nicely done. Now, Jonas Wagner. Wagner, 25 years of age, completes for Dresdner Sport Club. Made the final of the European Championships last summer on home soil in Munich, but then no-highted. Long step into his final stride. Just gets over the bar. Rather ragged, but they all count if they stay up. No, but Kobielski. Turned 26 on Saturday. Whoa, now that was a nice jump. Laid down a marker at this early stage in the competition. The very tall pole. Edgar Rivera. Just mentally rehearsing his jump. So now Rivera. That's much better than his previous effort. Nicely done, and he's over 2:14. Quite a hard surface, not the easiest surface to jump off. It doesn't give the jumpers very much. So Thiago Moura, 5th at the last World Indoor Championships, the Brazilian. Second at the Ibero-American Championships last year as well. Nicely done. Moura, no problems for him. Indeed, he's the Brazilian indoor record holder at 2:31, which he did in Belgrade last year. Now, Luis Enrique Zayas, 2016 World Under-20 champion. Stuttering approach, but bags of height. You have the feeling he didn't approach that full tilt. And we're back over with the shot put. Oh, close to the 21-meter mark for Simanchevich. Manages to really produce a very good effort there. It's Thomas Stanich. 21.04 for Stanich to move up into second place. Now we're back with the high jump. Brian Ratz. Oh, brings the bar down for a second time, Ratz. Well, I know he's a little bit inexperienced indoors, Ratz, and he's only 19 years of age. But for a 226 jumper, we were expecting something a little bit better than that. Although he just takes off far too far away from the bar. Now, Thomas Carmoy, the Belgian. He'll know what's required here. He's won twice before. And that's a bit better from the two-time defending champion. No problems for Carmoy. Oh, Joel Clark-Hahn having a few difficulties here in Nehvizdy. Well, makes it this time. So Ratz needs to get it this time. Third and final attempt for the South African. Doesn't want the unwanted accolade of being the first man to depart from this competition. Certainly his track record suggests he should be able to negotiate this height. Just trying to exalt the crowd to get behind him. No, the run-up really wasn't there. Needs to just work on the run-up. Well, jumping indoors can be sometimes a little bit of a strange experience. He was just jumping consistently far too far away from the bar. And his high point was in front of the bar. So, Chukwu Enekweche going into the circle. Oh, good effort from Enekweche. Powers, that 7.26 kilogram bar. Oh, 21.20. So it equals his indoor best. Well, Well, the meeting record is held by Thomas Stanek at 21:23, so Enekwechi starting to encroach on it. This is Arman Simancevic, Serbian. So Simancevic deciding to automatically foul that. So it was just over 20 metres, and he's already got 20.93 to his name. So Vukovic didn't really quite deliver on his technique. So we're in the third round now. Thomas Stanek managed to get to 21:04 with his last effort. Defending European indoor champion. Oh, he's very quick across the circle there. Oh, I think that might have taken the lead. That looks as though it's over 21 metres. Quickly switch back to the high jump. Peter Bakoshi struggling. The young Hungarian. That was a first attempt failure at 2:19. 2:18, I should say. Fatik Bite, Jabub also failing. So Jan Stafala exhorting the crowd to get behind him. Coming from the left-hand side, very quick in. Oh, just tickles it off with his heels, but he'll have two more attempts at this height. Dewey MLs. Came in at 2:14, nicely over. The first time of asking, what can he do at this height? Had the height there, just a bit ragged with the technique. Eric Portillo, first of the two Mexicans in this field. Trying to get the crowd behind him. Portillo. Nicely done for Portillo, taking the congratulations of the school children in the middle of the arena. So, flawless so far for the Mexican. This is Thomas Carmoy. Needed two efforts to get over 2:14. Nicely done for Carmoy. Well, did nudge the bar. but it stays up. Good height for the Belgian. Yeah, Majid Ghazal. Just willing him over this height. Brings the bar down. So the World Championship bronze medalist from 2017, when he became Syria's first ever male World Championships medalist, has 2 more attempts at this height. Jonas Wagner. Deep, but no, never takes off. Never into that jump. Realises that he's taken off too far away. Bit of a demolition act. Norbert Kobielski. Well, Kobielski, nice first time clearance at 2:14. Bags of height. And we're back in the shot. Mesut Pesa. Well, the way this shot put competition is whipping through the rounds, we'll have plenty of time to focus on the high jump competition. So, Pesa, 2062. Now it's Chukwu Enekwecha, I should say, slightly stuttering over my words. Edgar Rivera. You can see Luis Zayas just sitting down there, and Jaboob as well. So, Edgar Rivera. That's a much better attempt from Rivera. First attempt at 2:19. Really put a lot of effort into that. Thomas Stanek now. Here's the shot put leader. Well, Stanek took the lead with 21-21 in the last round. Almost skips across the circle. We see Thiago Moura bring the bar down at 2:19. So after 4 rounds, the top 3 are Stanek at 21-21, Enekwecha 21-20, and Simancevic at 20-93. Very tight amongst the top 3. Then a bit of a gap to Mesut Pesa, the Bosnian, in 4th place with 20-49. So now here's Luis Zayas. He just floats through the air, doesn't he? Splendid attempt. My apologies, I have been saying that the bar's been at 219, it's 218. I thought we were going up in a 5 centimetre increment, only 4 centimetres as we reach the end of the first round attempts at that height. So 5 men clear with their first attempt. Zayas, Rivera, Kobielski, Portillo and Carmoy. As we look at Marcus Thompson, the Norwegian, coming down at about 20.5 metres. As a best, after 4 rounds of 20.49, that attempt coming in the second round for the Norwegian. (2027). I can bring you up to date with the distance for Marcus Thompson. So now it's the turn of Mesut Peza. (20.62) in the 4th round. So foul for Peza as we look at Armin Sivancevic of Serbia go into the circle. Simancevic in 3rd place at the moment with 20.93. There's 28 centimetres between the top 3. Probably no improvement. Just drops down short of the 21-metre line. Good effort, nevertheless. So no improvement for Sinancevic. So Enekwechi equalled his personal best with 21.20 earlier in the competition. Gets a white flag. Enekwechi 20.53 as we move on to complete the 5th round, the penultimate round. And it's the event leader and local favourite, Thomas Stanic. Stanic looking in very good form this year. He's really brought his A game to this winter. 21.69 recently to win the Kladno competition on Saturday, when many of these men were competing. Ooh, well, just slips out of his hand. All goes horribly wrong, but he's still got a 1 centimetre advantage as they go into the last round in the men's shot. Jonas Wagner. Well, Wagner's second attempt at 2.18. Comes in very quickly, gets good height. Nicely done for Jonas Wagner. So Jonas Wagner clears 6 men over now at this height. Wagner has an indoor best of 2:28, which came in Dortmund 2 years ago. So shouldn't have too many problems at this height, nor should this man, Thiago Moura. Brazilian, national indoor record holder for Brazil at 2:31, which came at the World Indoor Championships last year. No, 2 failures for Moura. Okay, so this was his indoor debut this year. So, Fatak Bite, Jaboub, 2:18. If he clears this, this would be the best ever by an Oman high jumper. Holds the record indoors and out, 2:14. 2:14 just jumped in the previous round. Looks as though he's quite a talent in the making. Plenty of height when he does take off. No, not to be this time though. 2:14 is best, but he did equal his lifetime best, so can move on from here and feel slightly satisfied with this. So Peter Bokossi, the Hungarian, has a best of 2:22 indoors. So Peter Bokossi, his third attempt. Jumping from the left-hand side of the hall. No, just clatters into it. Didn't have the height. So he leaves the arena, says thank you to the audience. Jan Stafala. European under-23 champion in Gävle 2 years ago. Has a best indoors of 2:24. No, brings the bar down, so Stafala is out as well. Comes in quickly, but just too far away. Clips it off with his backside. Now, Majid Gazelle. So, Dewey Amels. Mixture of relief combined with happiness for the Dutch jumper. Amels, 31 years of age, one of the older men in the field as we switch back to the shot put now. And this is Armin Stanisevic. No improvement for Stanisevic, just over 20 metres. So Stanisevic, 20.93 in the second round, followed by 3 fouls. So no improvement for Stanisevic. He'll take third place in this competition. Now, Chukwu Enekwechi, the US-based Nigerian, 29 years of age, equaled his indoor best at 21:20. Nope. So foul for Enekwechi means that Thomas Stanek is the winner in Nehvizdy for the 4th year running. Well, he's got the meeting record at 21:23. Thiago Moura finally manages to edge over. So Thomas Stanek goes into the circle. Has won this competition with 21:21. The world leader, the defending European indoor champion. Oh, that looks good. That looks very good indeed. Right out to the left-hand side of the sector. Oh, you might be able to hear the Czech announcer saying a new meeting record. Indeed it is. Measured at 21:45. And Thomas Stanek confirms for the 4th year that he's the man to beat in Nehvizdy. What an excellent way to finish for Thomas Stanek. Meeting record of 21:45 in the final round and with the very last effort of this competition. You can see it on the scoreboard, just to the left-hand side of your screen. They're just rechecking it. Not quite as far as his world lead from Kladno of 21:69. Nevertheless, good consistent series from Stanek. And he's going to really be one of the medal contenders without a doubt when we get to the European Athletics Indoor Championships in Istanbul in 4 weeks' time. Just a little bit more than 4 weeks. It's 30 days from today until the start of those championships. And they're from the 2nd to the 5th of March in the Turkish city. So, Dewey Amels, 2:22 now. And all eyes are now on the high jump competition, with both the men's and the women's shot puts having been concluded. Okay, just crashes through it. So he missed it, but Majid Ghazal got over as well. So we have 9 men still in this competition. This is Eric Portillo. Nice smile on the Mexican face. Ooh, just stays up, doesn't it? He got away with it. Very lucky, the Mexican. Now Thomas Carmoy, the 2-time defending champion. Wonder if he needs a bit of luck. 12 months ago, cleared 2:27 at this meeting. That's a good jump from the Belgian. Nicely done. Well, Majid Ghazal needed 3 attempts to get over 218. Asian champion was the silver medalist back in 2011, now 35 years of age. Long striding Syrian, quick into the bar, no. Technique went awry, so first time failure at 2 meters 22 for Ghazal. Now the turn of Jonas Wagner, the German. Wagner preparing himself, one of the shorter men in this high jump competition. Already had a busy winter. This is his 4th competition. No, just clatters into the bar. Nevertheless, 2 more attempts for Jonas Wagner. This is Norbert Kobielski. Very tall. 2 meters and 2 centimeters tall. Hasn't got a great international competition record, but that's a good jump from Kobielski. He's got an indoor best of 2:29. That's a career best as well from Torun in 2020. Just before the whole world shut down. So, Edgar Rivera. Rivera trying to get the crowd behind him. It's quite a nice crowd here. Haven't seen any official crowd figures, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just edging into 4 figures. So a fair chunk of the town have turned out. Just remember, this is a town of only officially around 4,000 population. Good effort from Rivera. This height is shaking them out a little bit. Three men cleared so far. Kobielski, who's flawless. So too is Eric Portillo, the Mexican. And Thomas Carmoy, who had a failure at 2:14, also over at the moment. So just 2 men to come with their first attempts at 2 meters 22. This is Thiago Moura, 2:31 indoor best. Takes a very wide approach. No. Rather poor effort from the Brazilian. So completing the first attempts, Luis Enrique Zayas. Zayas prepares himself. Nicely done by Zayas, the former World Under-20 champion. Been to the last 2 World Championships, where he finished 5th in 2019 and 6th in 2022. So he'll be hoping to just move up a little bit, perhaps get on the podium in Budapest in August. So 4 men over 2:22 at the first time of asking. Second attempts, and the first man to take his second attempt is the Dutch jumper, Douwe Amels. No, Amels crashing through it again. Struggling a little bit at 2:22, Amels. So, Majed Ghazal, as I mentioned, the first Syrian man to get a World Championship medal when he got that bronze in London in 2017. Ghazal brings the bar down, and just as a reminder, if you're enjoying this live stream being brought to you by European Athletics and on the YouTube channel, the next ones coming up are on Saturday, this coming Saturday, when we have the Val d'Oreuil meeting in France and the Ghent meeting, the IFAM meeting in Belgium, coming to check the start times on the European Athletics website, but they both start late afternoon. And they're a full program. This is a specialist field events meeting. Jonas Wagner, not a bad effort there from the German. Good height. Thought he might have just got it, but just clips it off with his calves. Now, Edgar Rivera. One of those high jumpers that just likes a mental rehearsal. Stretching his arm out. Mentally going through how he should take off. And he's over. Big smile from the Mexican. Very popular man on the international circuit. Fourth at the World Championships. Just missed out on a medal in London. Also quite consistent at the very highest level. Seventh at the World Indoor Championships last year in Belgrade, when this man finished fifth, Thiago Moura. Brazilian getting the crowd behind him. Technique has looked a bit ragged on his earlier attempts, but he's definitely a man with plenty of talent. Oh, just clips it off with his heels. So still just 4 men clear at this stage. Oh, I should say fifth. Sorry, mentally forgetting Edgar Rivera got it on the second attempt. So with Moura bringing the bar down for a second time. 4 men having third attempts at this height of 2 meters 22. Douwe Amels. Approaching very quick, coming into the bar. Takes off a long way away. Almost rescues it. But has to settle for a best of 2:18, and he departs from the competition. He almost just managed to rescue that. Just came in very, very quickly. Now, Majed Gazelle. So, third attempt for the former Asian champion. Now 35 years of age. Oldest man in this competition. No, rather slow, laboured run-up. Took off quite close to the bar, and he brings the bar down for the third time of asking. Jonas Wagner. Can he be the first man to go clear with his third attempt? 5 men already clear with their earlier attempts. Wagner, just a reminder, an indoor best of 2:28. Oh, good jump from Wagner. Nails it. Took off a long way out, but everything came right there. Gets into a good position. Nice arch over the bar. And he's jumper number 6 at clear at this height. So, Thiago Moura. Third attempt for the Brazilian. Hasn't got vast experience indoors, but did clear 2:31 for 5th at last year's World Indoor Championships. Oh, just crashes into the bar, so he departs the competition. But I'm sure we'll see more of the Brazilian around the international circuit. And he seems to be popular with the kids of Hvězdy. Some more are getting handshakes and a bit of a hug from some of the other competitors. So, there's how things look. Eric Portillo, Norbert Kobielski, and Luis Zayas, the 3 men who've got completely clean cards up to 2:22. Also still in contention, Thomas Carmoy, the 2-time defending champion, Edgar Rivera, and Jonas Wagner. So, Eric Portillo, the pretty much a new face around, the young Mexican. Not seen much of him internationally, 22 years of age. Just recently jumped a indoor best of 2:26. First failure of the competition. 2:25. So as you can hear, the infield presenter saying Thomas Carmoy. Well, Garmoy. One failure earlier in the competition, but looked good at 2:22. Almost thought he got it at 2:25. Just edged off the bar. And you can see his frustration. He knew he had that height. Clear, just clips it with his heels. Just the very slightest of touches, but it was enough to bring the bar down. Now, Jonas Wagner. Wagner. 25 years of age. So Wagner brings the bar down as well. So, all three men who've attempted this height so far brought the bar down. I have to say, I've been impressed with those attempts at earlier heights from Norbert Kobielski. Kobielski just turned 26 on Saturday. It's his indoor debut for the year. So nobody so far over 2:26. Just Edgar Rivera and Luis Zayas to come. Had the Well, Ribera has an indoor best of 2:30, which he actually jumped at a Czech meeting in Brno back in 2016. Has had some good success at Czech meetings over the years, these specialist meetings. I'm sure there's plenty of people here who recognise him. So Ribera, first attempt at 2:25. No, too far away, not enough speed, not enough height. Nevertheless, two more attempts to come for Ribera. It's his first meeting of the year. Made the final of the World Championships last year, but finished 13th. As we switch over to the victory ceremony for the men's shot put. Well, Armin Stanisevic third, Chukwu Enekweche second, but Thomas Stanec gets the roars, having won with a meeting record of 21:45. As we look at Luis Zayas, just having brought the bar down. So not a single man of the six attempting this height got over it at the first attempt. Second attempt's coming up. So, Eric Portillo. Comes from Chihuahua. Chihuahua, if I remember rightly, I've been there once for a World Racewalking Cup. It's about 400 miles from the Texas border. So, as you can hear the infield presenter saying, Eric Portillo's second attempt at 2:25. Has been at two of the Czech meetings so far, jumped to personal best of 2:26, which was a lifetime best in Brno just over a week ago. Jumped 2:25 in Kladno at the weekend on Saturday. Shaking him out. coming in. Oh, stutters. Chops his stride. And he knows it. Well, the Mexican, 22 years of age. Talent without a doubt. He's looking for international experience. Most of his competitions have come either in Mexico or in the United States. Went to the World Under-18s now. Thomas Carmoy. Just taking his time preparing himself, coming from the left-hand side of this arena. The Nehvizdech Sports Hall, and he's over. Nicely done. So the two-time defending champion retains an interest in this competition and lays down the gauntlet to the other 5 men still in this competition. Nicely done as well. Daylight between the Belgian and the bar. So, Jonas Wagner. Wagner jumped to season's best when he got over 2:22, the last height. Made the final of the European Championships in Munich, but then failed to clear a height, having got through the qualifying. Didn't really have the speed, couldn't convert it into vertical lift. Wasn't a bad attempt, but it just wasn't a particularly good attempt either. Just didn't seem to be fully committed to that jump. Took it off with his backside. So, Norbert Kobielski had some really good clearances at the earlier heights, but brought the bar down at the first time of asking at 2:25 meters. So, the really tall pole. Ugh. Where has your technique gone, Norbert? You look good at 2:22, without a doubt. And he's scratching his head as well. He doesn't know. Edgar Rivera. The Mexican. Second attempt for Rivera. Well, I was talking with Hannah England on Twitter Space about an hour before this program started, and we were talking about the Ukraine high jumper, Irina Heroshenko, and she goes through a very similar routine to Edgar Rivera, the mental rehearsal. Not a bad jump at all from Rivera. Just a fraction too far out, but he had the height. Unfortunately, his high point was just a bit in front of the bar. You need to jump a long way out to clear these heights, but he was just a fraction too far. Not a bad effort, though. So just one man over, and that's Thomas Carmoy. I have to say that's a bit of a surprise. I would have expected a couple of these men to have gone over at this stage. Can Luis Zayas get it with his second attempt at this height? 2:25 meters for the Cuban. Oh, he wasn't far away, but just clipped it down with his heels. Looked for all the world, and for about 1:85 meters of his torso, as though he was over that bar. It was just the last 10 centimetres, just clipped it off with his heels. So just one man clear, Thomas Carmoy, and 5 men to take third attempts at this height. So Eric Portillo now up for his third attempt. Had some good attempts at the early heights. Looked good over 222. But his first two attempts, not quite so good at this height. Flawless over 214, 218 and 222. Third attempt for Portillo. No. Chopped his stride, so Eric Portillo departs the competition. Well, his only failures have come at 225, so he still has a chance of a place on the podium. And you can see how things unfolded there. Jonas Wagner, well, he needed 3 attempts to get over 2 meters 22. Well, has been over this height, both indoors and outdoors in his career. Has a best indoors, career best of 228, but it's not to be on this occasion. But it was a good attempt, though. Not a bad attempt for Jonas Wagner. He's got quite a few more competitions this winter, no doubt. Starting with the German National Championships in a couple of weeks' time. I think 225's there for Jonas Wagner. Not today, but perhaps in a couple of weeks' time. So, Norbert Korbielski, the very tall Pole. You can see there, over 214, 18 and 22 at the first time of asking. Can he make it number 2 over this height of 2 meters 25? Oh, lots of effort, but it was all too forced. And he brings the bar down, crashes down. I really did think he was going to be jumping high today, having looked at those clearances earlier in the competition, but it wasn't to be. And at 225, Norbert Korbielski's best technique seemed to desert him. So, just 2 men to go in this competition at 2 meters 25. Edgar Rivera and Luis Zayas. Thomas Carmoy, the only man over so far in this competition. Carmoy won 2021 at 224. Cleared a meeting record of 227 12 months ago. So, Edgar Rivera. Quick in, but crashes into the bar. All a bit ragged. Quickly into the bar, but the height wasn't there. So, the last man to jump at this height, Luis Zayas. Clear and he continues. Fails and he gets a share of second place. So the former world under-20 champion, once again, bags of height, just can't get his feet over. Just brings the bar down with his heels. Oh, disappointment for Zayas. 2 very good attempts at 225. This almost a carbon copy of his second attempt. Once again, just brings it down, back of his legs, but the height was there. So just 1 man over 225. The Belgian Thomas Carmoy. Well, Carmoy, 2021 European Indoor Bronze medalist and the European Under-20 champion back in 2019. the spotlight is on you, Thomas Carmoy. Well, he has a best of 2:28 coming in Luxembourg in 2021. That was done indoors. 6th at the World Indoor Championships last year in Belgrade. That was another 2:28 clearance. Just wondering what he's going to ask for the bar. 2:28 would be a meeting record. Maybe he just wants to have it up to 2:29 though. Have a crack at a personal best. Oh, he is going up to 2:28. I can read the infield monitor. You can see there on the left-hand side of your screen, just a bit beyond the high jump bed. So this would equal his personal best, but it would be a new meeting record. Well, those youngsters enthralled at what they've seen here. Entertaining competition. So, Thomas Carmoy, the very last man in action in this meeting. We've seen the conclusion of the men's and women's shot put competitions, won by Canada's Sarah Mitten and the local star Thomas Stanek. Both shot putters going out to new meeting records. Can Thomas Carmoy add to that list? Well, Carmoy, at his attempt at 2:25, had the height which would have probably have taken him over 2:28. Well, Carmoy, just 22 years of age. Will have his 23rd birthday in just over 2 weeks' time, 16th of February. Well, we whipped through this competition quite quickly. We hope you've enjoyed the last 2 3/4 hours. And we're coming to the highlights and the climax. So everything goes quiet for Thomas Carmoy. You can see the Nehvizdech Sports Hall, very much an all-purpose arena for the local population. Weights in the background, a climbing wall. But here, we're just talking about and focused on the men's high jump. It's a World Athletics Indoor Tour Silver meeting, as you can see from the posters in the background. First attempt at 2:28 meters for Belgium's Thomas Carmoy. Oh, the hall goes quiet. First attempt failure for Carmoy. He'll get a minute just to compose himself, gather his thoughts. Not the best of attempts. Looks like his coach just giving him a bit of advice. Not a bad debut, though, for his 2023 campaign. A campaign that he hopes will lead all the way to another place on the podium at the European Athletics Indoor Championships in Istanbul, coming up between the 2nd and the 5th of March. Well, Thomas Carmoy is just composing himself. Let me give you another plug for the European Athletics live streams, which are coming to you all the way through this winter. This is the third of the series. Next two coming up on Saturday from the Val d'Oreuil meeting in France and the IFAM meeting in Ghent in Belgium. I'll tell you what, I haven't actually looked at the programme. I don't know whether there's a men's high jump on the programme for that meeting in Ghent. If there is, I'm sure Thomas Carmoy is going to be jumping there. But there's also a whole number of specialist field event competitions, and some of them are jumps only, coming up over the course of the next 4 weeks. In the coming week or so, we have the Hustapeche high jump meeting and the Trinek high jump meeting in Czech Republic. They follow on quite nicely from this meeting. So, just a little bit of water on board. It's quite dry in the hall. Second attempt at 2 meters 28, which would equal the best of Thomas Carmoy. Very focused. Not a bad attempt, much better than his first attempt. Brings the bar down, but that will give him a bit of a confidence boost that the height is there. That was a better attempt. So just adjust his run up just a little bit. Well, this event is now in its 6th year, and he's become the first 3-time winner. Of course, Thomas Stanek's done that in the men's shot put, but Thomas Carmoy, the first man to put together a hat-trick of high jump triumphs. So, third and final attempt coming up at 2 meters 28 for a meeting record and to equal Thomas Carmoy's personal best. There you go, there's Carmoy's card. Needed 2 attempts to get over 214 and that last height, 225. But he was the only man over 225, which leaves the stage to himself. So all eyes on Thomas Carmoy. It's a good night if you're an athlete called Thomas, with Thomas Stanek taking the shot put title as well here. Oh, he's decided to put the bar up for his last attempt to 230, and that's well within his rights. So they're just readjusting the bar, the stanchions. So third attempt, but this time at 2 meters 30 for Thomas Carmoy. He's feeling optimistic. Well, the Belgian national record has been held since 1986 by Eddie Ennis at 2:31, so it wouldn't be a Belgian national record, but He go number 2 on the Belgian indoor lists. Eddie Ennis, the man who set the gold standard as far as Belgian high jumping is concerned. Also a man like Carmoy, who got himself a bronze medal at the European Indoor Championships, that back in 1986. So, Thomas Carmoy moves to his mark. He's taken it back just a little bit. He's going to have to be really committed here. But he's a confident young man, just 22 years of age. Done well through the teenage ranks. Knows not to be. So, Thomas Carmoy brings the bar down for the 3rd consecutive time. But he emerges as the winner for the 3rd year in succession at this, the Nehvizdech. Oh, decent attempt, committed attempt, but brought the bar down. And that brings the curtain down very slowly on this meeting. There's the full results. Thomas Carmoy wins with a season's best. Well, it was his debut this year at 2:25. 3 men will be clustered into the silver medal position on the medal dais. Zayas, Korbielski, and I need to just check who the 3rd man is. Eric Portillo. So Zayas, Korbielski and Portillo, all flawless until the bar was raised to 2:25. There's confirmation of the standings a little bit further down. Bit of a disappointment. Thiago Moura couldn't go higher than 2:18. The Brazilian, who showed his big-time mentality, clearing 2:31 at the World Indoor Championships in Belgrade. There's Eric Portillo. Seems to be popular with the youngsters. He was high-fiving quite a lot of them after every successful jump. He's one of 3 men who share 2nd place. Well, that's one to treasure. And Eric Portillo just gathering a few fans in Czech Republic. I'm sure out of camera shot, they're making themselves very busy getting the medal podium together. There's the winner, Thomas Carmoy. I'm sure he's worked out that he's going to be a very popular invitee in 12 months' time at the 7th edition of this meeting. So this is a replay of Portillo's jump at 2:22. That was his 3rd successful attempt. Straight away, 2:14, 2:18 and 2:22. Norbert Korbielski and Louis Zayas also getting over that height, and Thomas Carmoy getting even higher at 2:25. I think we're going to see a lot more on the international circuit of Portillo. I was impressed with his jumping, and he's certainly enjoying himself. Jonas Wagner probably looking for the way out. He's not on the podium. Nor is Joel Khan, but I'm sure Wagner and Clark Khan will both be looking to improve during the course of the indoor season. See in the background Edgar Rivera as well, wearing out a few Sharpies, signing a few autographs, and in a few cases some T-shirts. Might well have been one of the young high jumpers from earlier. There was a B competition a little bit earlier on today. To give a shout out to the local jumper who won the B competition before we had the international programme. Joseph Adamek clearing 2:10. And if you were listening earlier on, in addition to the two shot puts we had, a women's high jump earlier in the afternoon, and that was won by Kristina Ovchinnikova of Kazakhstan at 1.90 m. Just waiting for the jumpers to be called towards the medal podium for the presentation. Wonder if we're going to see Helena Fabingarova giving out the medals. Thomas Carmoy hasn't had time to pull on a T-shirt yet and warm down. Now those autographs will be especially valuable if he goes on to win a medal at the European Indoor Championships in 30 days' time. Well, the queue seems to be ever growing. I'm just wondering how many autographs he's going to be signing. Well, I'm still waiting for the victory ceremony. That's, I think, finally, with some of the dignitaries are on their way. Oh, and as you can hear, the infield presenter in Nehvizdy. So everybody's gathering at the far end of the Nehvizdy Sports Hall for the final presentation of the evening. And indeed it is the meeting director, Thomas Wojciech, who's going to say a few words, just thanking the local population, everybody in this small town, just about 10 kilometers east of Prague. But this meeting is starting to really make a mark on the international calendar. They seem to have lost somebody. Well, we know Thomas Carmoy's there, and we know Eric Portillo's there. Just need to know where Luis Zayas and Norbert Kobielski are. Well, we're missing the big Pole, Norbert Kobielski. Wonder where he's got to. Well, we have Eric Portillo to the... Ah, there he is. So we have Eric Portillo to the left of your screen, Thomas Carmoy the winner, Luis Zayas, and then Norbert Kobielski, the three other men, including Thomas Carmoy, the silver medalists on this occasion, joint second. Well, as you can hear, the infield announcer announcing the tie for second place between the three athletes. The first to climb the podium, Eric Portillo, Norbert Kobielski, and squeezing in Luis Zayas. So we have from left to right Cuba, Poland, and Mexico. Did they have enough flowers for all three of them? It looks as though Norbert Kobielski might have missed out there. Oh no, he did get some flowers after all. But the winner, the only man over 2 meters 25, Belgium's Thomas Carmoy. And congratulations all around, including the very last man, Thomas Wojciech. And it is the meeting director who hands the victory medal around the neck of Thomas Carmoy. Well, as the photographers come in and Thomas Wojciech jumps on the spare place on the medal podium, it's time for me, Phil Minchell, to say good night, and we hope you enjoyed this European Athletics live stream of the World Athletics Indoor Tour Silver Meeting, coming to you from Nehvizdy in the Czech Republic. Next live streams coming up on Saturday from Val de Ruel in France and Ghent in Belgium. And for information about everything to do with European Athletics live streams and also the road to Istanbul, the European Athletics Indoor Championships coming up in March, look at the European Athletics website, www.european-athletics.org.